Hello and welcome. This is Alan with Affordable Technology Foundation, and as promised, I'm kicking off the Introduction to Windows 8 series. The first one we're going to cover is the upgrade from Windows 7 or Vista to Windows 8. A couple of things I want to go over with you before we get started. In order to do a direct upgrade, you have to have Windows Vista or Windows 7. There is no direct upgrade path from Windows XP. So in that case, you have to do a fresh install, back up your files, and reinstall your programs and move your files back over for Windows XP. Also, the minimum system requirements for Windows 8 are 1 GHz processor, 2 GB RAM, 20 GB hard drive space, 1366 by 768 screen resolution, DirectX 9 graphics processor, internet access. Those are the minimum requirements to install Windows 8. And it comes in two versions, 32 and 64-bit. You'll want to make sure that you match the version that you currently have installed on your machine, or it will not upgrade. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pop the disk in, and we'll launch the setup program and take it from there. Okay, and the run dialog box is up here. And the user account control has come up. We'll go ahead and say yes to allow that. And the Windows installer will launch. And here we have a nice, pretty purple Windows 8 graphic. One thing about Windows 8 that I've noticed is it's very colorful. There's lots of blocks and tiles. They're really moving away from the wavy graphics into graphics with straight lines, solid colors. And we're just waiting for the disk to completely load so we can start the installation process. Alright, so you'll first be prompted with an option to upgrade over the internet. Since we already have internet access, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So with Go Online and Install Updates selected, I'm going to choose Next. And we'll let it check for updates. If anything's found, it will install them. Okay, it's time to put in our product key. Okay, it looks like it took the product key on the first try. Hallelujah. And we'll go ahead and click Next to continue the installation. I'm going to accept the license terms. I usually scroll that all the way down because some programs require that you do that. And accept. Okay, now we have the option to keep our settings, keep our files, or keep nothing and do a completely fresh installation. I'm going to go ahead and keep my settings for this install. So with that selected, I'm going to click Next. And Windows is going to check the computer to make sure that everything's in place to go ahead and do the upgrade. Okay, it looks like it's done doing its checks and balances, so it says we're ready to install. And we have Windows 8 Pro, and we've decided to keep our settings and files. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and install. By the way, if you want to change your mind, you do have the opportunity to change those selections at this time. Okay, we'll go ahead and install, and go ahead and let that go. Now please note that during this process, the computer will probably restart several times. Go ahead and let it do that on its own. It may prompt you to restart sooner than it does by itself. If you want to do that, that's fine. Alright, looks like we made it to the top of the hill. We're at 50% complete. Okay, and it looks like we're up to the start screen here. It's going to ask us a few questions before we move on. Looks like first we get to choose a color for our scheme. And I like blues, so I'm going to go with this darker blue here. And select next. And looks like we can select Express settings or customize things. And I think I'm going to customize just so we can see what options we have here. Okay, and I'll turn on sharing to networks. And automatically install important and recommended devices and updates. And we'll help protect PC. Turn on smart screen filter. And do not track requests. That looks good. We'll leave it the way it is. Okay, and if you want to send information to Microsoft, you can turn these features on here. Click next. Check online, yes, for problems. Use Internet Explorer compatibility, yes. Share information with apps, absolutely. Because that's one of the main features of Windows 8 is what's called live tiles, and apps will give you updates and real-time information right on your screen. Okay, and at this point you get to sign in for the first time, and when you put in your email address here, what it's going to do is it's going to set up a Microsoft account for you, and that will be your online login for Microsoft. So that's something that is different with this version of Windows than it was before. You can opt to do a local sign-in, which doesn't go online, and you can choose that option down here. So I'm going to go ahead and skip and use the local account. And that confuses some people because they don't remember setting up a password at the beginning, and when they put their email address in, they think it's local when in fact it's actually an online login. Some people get the local login confused with the Microsoft account login and so forth. And I've dealt with quite a few troubleshooting steps surrounding that situation. Alright, and it's giving us a little graphic here on some of the features of Windows 8. If you move your mouse to the side of the screen, the Charms bar pops out, and what that is it's a menu of shortcuts that get you to search and settings. Gets you to where you can turn your computer off, make changes. Okay, and it looks like we're up to our desktop. Well, that was all of a sudden. So we are a total of 41 minutes into our installation. So it took about 40 minutes or so to do the install from complete to finish. So this is what the Windows Start menu looks like now, if you haven't seen it before. It's actually a bunch of tiles. And in the future videos, I'll go over what each of those mean and what the differences are in Windows. After you do the installation, you want to make sure that you run your updates as soon as possible, especially if you're connected to the internet. And to do the updates, you bring your mouse over to the right side of the screen, and that'll bring up the Charms bar. And you'll go to Settings, change PC settings, and Windows Update is on the bottom left side. And check for updates now and let it go through its update process. At any time to exit out of the screen like this one that you're in, these are called apps, you'll hit the Windows flag key, which is on the bottom left of your keyboard next to the Alt, usually between the Alt and Control keys, to the left of the space bar. Hit that and it'll take you back to your start screen. And one more thing before I conclude this session, the Windows desktop is here. It's a live tile on the bottom left side of your screen. Click that and it takes you to what is a fairly familiar desktop. You might not be able to see it all right now because the aspect ratio changed in the upgrade, so a little bit of the top and bottom of the screen is actually going out of the camera. So anyhow, with that, we did an upgrade. Took about 40 minutes. It was fairly straightforward. There's really not a whole lot to it, but I wanted to give you all an idea of what it was like and what steps are involved in case you would like to see it before you try it yourself. So any questions, you can always get a hold of us at www.affordabletech.org and go to the Contact Us link. You can email us from there, and our telephone and address is listed there as well. So with that, I think we're pretty much done for now. And my name's Alan, and I'll see you next time.